Hey guys, before this video starts, I want to give you a quick update on the dragon. Now, at the end of when I was done drawing the dragon, I really took a look at it, and I realized how much I really didn't like the design, or the colors at least. So I went back off camera, did a couple of revisions, and this was the final product. I think she looks much better now. I still kept the blue color because I still really want her in blue, but I pulled in the browns in her belly and in her horns and a bit in the hair, and added some of the color highlights and kept all the claws that same, you know, dark blue, black color. And I think she looks much better, much more like she could actually be if God damn it, if that character were to turn into a dragon or be a dragon. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Now let's get on with the video. Okay, so first up we have the changeling. This one actually took the shortest amount of time compared to all of them. This one only was an hour and 30 minutes, I believe. And so, with the changeling, I kind of imagined her kind of half and half of the, I guess, evil changelings and half reformed. Definitely more reformed than evil, though. The reason being is that, first of all, I like elements of both designs and hate elements of both designs, so I just kind of mashed what I like the best about both of them together. I guess I created a bit of a special snowflake character. But she's supposed to be a special snowflake, so it's okay. So yeah, for the half and half, I gave her like the weird kind of holy horn that Chrysalis has. I also gave her hair and a tail like Chrysalis. It's got the weird lines going through it. I don't really know what it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's supposed to be like the bug stuff you see that like the reformed changelings have, where it's almost like the girl, what's her name, Ocellus or something, has kind of like a mohawk of it, and same with their tails. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, just all floppy. I don't know, but I definitely liked the hair, not the bug whatever. And yeah, I also gave her kind of like half and half holy legs, I guess. One in the front, one in the back. And I wanted to give her like the antlers like Thorax and Fairfinks has, but with the horn I just thought it kind of looked stupid. So yeah. The wings definitely gave me a bit of trouble. I wanted to have like dragonfly wings, sort of. But I had trouble like putting the veins through them, so I just kind of said fuck it and traced over a older character that I had who had the same sort of wings. I figured it was just a simple sketch. It doesn't matter too much anyway. Don't trace over other people's art, by the way. No. Trace over your own art. See, tips. I'm smart. You'll see again when I'm coloring her, again with the blue. I love me some blue. Blue is definitely my favorite color. So yeah. And it just looks good, just like almost in any shade, you know? Whether it's like a gray blue, light blue, dark blue. It always looks nice, in my opinion. For the hair, you'll see doing the front hair, like the poof, I guess. I tried to make it the magenta and yellow, which looked fine when I had it all zoomed in, but when I zoomed out, I really saw how ugly those two colors looked together. I don't know, I guess when it's just one in one and they're surrounded by another color, they look fine, but when it's just those two, it's like, ugh. So I did go back and change it to the yellow to green, because there wasn't a lot of green in her design already. So it still doesn't look great, considering like the green and magenta or pink are on opposite sides of the color wheel, so they clash very strongly. But it did look better than the yellow, and I didn't really think it was so bad that it needed changing. And so, yeah.
All to her night, you broke her and let the pieces fall. And so you staged the perfect crime, ruin everyone you mimic. This day is going to be perfect. This is all my fault. I don't know how you talk. But when Twilight want me to know anything about well, there's a new regime now. And you can feel the pain you bring, heartless changeling, 'cause you're not a part of this affair. But Twilight is the brightest bulb. That's her brother that you hold, 'cause she won't go down without a fight. Well, there's a new regime now. I'll be there very soon.
Alright, so for this one, we're just gonna jump right in. This is the sea pony, and I was very, very, very excited to get this one done. I don't know why, I was just excited to draw a little seahorse mermaid, merpony. Oh man, you guys have no idea how much I had to physically restrain myself from making her blue again. I figured I already made like 3 characters so far blue. It's time to use some of those brown colors. I wanted to lighten her up. I wanted to make her kind of look like a goldfish, so I didn't use the exact same brown. I had a bit of trouble with the eyes on this one. I'm not very used to drawing the big round eyes, especially when they're looking like straight at you. So yeah, like most of the time you'll see I have them like either like I don't know how to explain it, but like flat, I guess, or curved, like off, you know what I mean? I'm sure you do, but yeah. So I had a bit of trouble with that. I didn't give her wings or a horn, and when I mean wings, I mean like the fin wings. You see that whenever the Pegasus ponies turn into the sea ponies, they get little fin wings or whatever. I didn't give her those because, first of all, I had too much trouble drawing them, and I didn't want to cover up like her hair fin, I guess, which was also fun to draw. This one, when you see it get colored, it gives off really like neon-y vibes, I guess, kind of like the changeling and the dragon, which is great for me because I love neon. I love neon colors. That's why you'll see everything I make is super like bright and saturated. I know I need to tone it down. I know you should always tone down the colors as much as possible, but I just love neon so much, I can't help it sometimes. I don't know, I love bright, colorful things like rainbow. I love glitter, I love sparkles, I love like dark things like black lights and like, you know, like aesthetically pleasing light, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a rainy day, it's kind of dark outside, you don't have many lights on, but you have some, just like maybe a lamp, and it just dimly lights the room, and you get that gray sunshine from the rain kind of coming in, and you just want to cuddle up with someone and read a book or watch a movie. I'm getting off topic. Okay, back to this. A little tip for when you're drawing scaly characters, whether it be fish or lizards or dragons or, you know, snakes or whatever. For the scales, just add like the little three scales with 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. Just some of those, not everywhere, but just placed in strategic places. And it will look like she's covered in scales. So like, minimal effort, optimal result, I guess. But yeah, I also gave her, I wanted her to look kind of like the koi fish, is that right? The fish where they have like the different spots, the white and the orange and the black. And so I used that to give her the other colors that she has with the blue and the green on her legs, and I gave her a yellow belly and the pink down her back. And I gave her since she has always like the dark circles under her eyes because she never sleeps, like me. I keep saying she, but really this character is me, I guess. Like I said, it's a kind of persona or pony-sona. But it's just easier to say her or them or whatever. But yeah, for the dark circles, and instead of actually adding dark circles, I made like little black spots, and I gave her the kind of like the regular brown on her nose and on the head and on the ears, because it kind of looked like freckles. And because you can see through the hair fin, it kind of like made it look less awkward, you know, make her look kind of less bald. You'll see. Oh, for anyone wondering what that brush was, I'm using Paint SAI, and if you want to use that brush, I believe it's, I go to crayon, and the texture is Lava Bump, I think, Lava Bump 1 or something like that. And the density is, I think it's all the way up, I'm not sure. Is density right? If I have time, I'll probably flash like a picture of what I mean, of like my brush settings for that, for the little scales and all that. You'll see I had a bit of trouble with the tail, because I wanted it to have like kind of like a blotchy, kind of random, you know, look, and I had trouble especially with the blue, because I didn't want like the a brush stroke. I just wanted like, you know, you do the dot and then I make it bigger, but it's kind of hard sometimes. I'm sure you guys know what I mean when I'm sorry, I'm rambling again. But yeah, also you'll see at the very end I tried to do kind of like a shine on the scales, make them look kind of shiny. There's an easy trick to do that you can do that makes them look shiny and that makes them look really nice, but I forgot how to do it. I know you just add like a bit of dark and a bit of light and then little kind of sparkles on the scales. I don't really go in depth into those details a lot in my art. I consider my art very simplistic, and I like it that way. It's almost like I don't know, I always considered my art walking the border of anime and just straight up cartoons. I definitely consider it more cartoony. The only thing really anime about my art is maybe the eyes sometimes, but that's about it. Alright, so the Bat Pony. I'm really happy with this one. I think she looks really good, but again, I found while I was drawing her, we ran into the problem of looks like it could be any Bat Pony, not just my character if they were a Bat Pony. But that kind of got me thinking a little bit. Maybe this character, instead of being necessarily like that character, if they were just so happened to be that species, what if this was like a alternate personality almost? Like all the maybe like the negative they think, all the negative thoughts they have or whatever, everything they hate about their personality or something. Because with this character, yes, I know I say there's some edgy, you know, kind of grumpy asshole, but they don't mean to be necessarily a bad person. They want to be a good person. They're just grumpy all the time. I'm sure you guys, oh, that voice crack, Jesus. I'm sure you guys know of people who are like that, who try their best to be nice, but they're just grumpy in nature. So what I thought maybe this character, the Bat Pony, could maybe represent is like the little voice you have kind of in the back of your head when something kind of, you know, maybe not so good happens to you. Like let's say someone bumps into you when you're walking down the hall and you're like, did that bitch just bump into me? I'm gonna go kick their ass. But no, you repress that thought and you move on because you want to be a good person. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. So yeah, so this character, I thought maybe they're just like the opposite of what the other one is. You know, the other one, They don't smile unless they feel like they have a reason to smile, you know. They're just grumpy because they just, you know, not that they're depressed or anything, that's just the way they express themselves. While this one, on the other hand, they smile just to smile, you know, and not necessarily to be polite or anything. They're just forcing themselves to smile because, you know, maybe they're a little bit crazy or something. I don't know. I didn't think this very well through. Like, obviously, when you're creating a character or something, you should have a plan. Obviously, these are just sketches. These are just ideas. This was just for fun. So it's not very well thought out. But, yeah. Also, while creating this character, I realized, like, their color scheme looked very, very similar to another OC that I had. I don't draw her anymore, but it was another Alicorn OC, because of course it was. Get a bit of a Mary Sue, this one, honestly. What was her name? Silver Flame or something. She was an Alicorn princess, you know. She didn't want to be a princess, she just wanted to be a normal pony. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go into it. But the color scheme with this one and her are very, very similar, I noticed. So, a bit of a throwback to her, I guess. This one took another 4 hours, like the dragon, because for some reason I just couldn't get the ears right, and I couldn't get the tail right. I have no idea why. It was just bad art day, I guess. Same with like the colors. You'll see for the wings, I couldn't decide what color I wanted, because I wanted her to be gray, but like colorful at the same time, if that makes any sense. I know it doesn't, but just pretend that it does, you know. I didn't really make her gray, I made her blue-gray again, because of course I have a problem with my blue colors. I need to go to Blue Coloring Anonymous. Need to be weaned off the blue. Yeah, imagine this character a little bit crazy, a little bit you know, unstable. Just wants to make the other side of her, I guess, miserable. That's why I put like the band-aids on there. Not because she cuts herself, but first of all, I hate the color yellow. I hate it, but you'll see that it is very prominent in this character's mane. This is probably very confusing with me saying this character and with the two that I'm talking about. They don't really have names. But in the mane of the brown one, you'll see that the yellow is there, and I put that there just to kind of remind myself, like, with a lot of artists, I feel like this can be very relatable. Like, no matter what we draw, how good we draw it, how good we think it is, there's always going to be something about it that we don't like, you know? No matter what we do, no matter how good it is. And so I just put that yellow there as kind of like a reminder to that. And so with the Bat Pony, because I thought maybe her purpose was to make the other one miserable all the time, she put yellow band-aids on. So when she kind of, I guess, turns back into her normal self, and she has to rip the band-aids off, you know, which doesn't feel very nice. She'll just be even angrier and grumpier, you know. Same with, like, the reason why she has all the piercings, especially the tongue piercing. I mean, yes, she does have her ears pierced, but she isn't, I imagine her not being a huge fan of, like, the big, you know, the chains and everything and the tongue piercing. Because I'm not a fan of all that. I mean, if other people want to do it, that's fine. That's their choice. You know, I'm happy for them if it makes them happy, but I just don't think it looks very good sometimes. Kind of changed up the wristbands. For this one, when I was drawing her, I kind of went for full-on kind of emo scene kid. I guess you can kind of see that with like all the accessories with the wristbands, the piercings, and collar, Jesus. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much for this one since I talked so much for the last one, so I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video and see you in part 3.
Dark and cold and there's no way home, and the only comfort is a moss and mold. Life takes far too long, the moon recesses from dawn. Just one dream, I wipe my tears and fight against the dawn. I'll succeed and like my dreams to seek out what's mine, let the monsters free. dark and cold, and there's no way home, and the only comfort is the moss and mold. Life takes far too long, the moon recesses from dawn. Just one dream, I'll wipe my tears and fight against the time. I'll succeed and like my dreams to seek out mine. Let the monsters free.